Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of U.S. Home Talk. I'm your host, Mike Overson with Luminate Bank. We have some riveting stuff to talk about today. We are going to be jumping right into it. With me on the show today, we have Marcus Walgrave, Hegg Realtors, the South Dakota home team out there in beautiful Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We have Jason Walgrave, Walgrave Real Estate Group at Remax Advantage, plus here in the metro area of Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul. That's where I'm located as well. Today's topic, we are talking about what everyone wants to talk about all the time because it's super exciting. Mm-hmm. Everyone wants to talk about this. Mortgage rates.
Every day.
So exciting. Like, if we could do every show on mortgage rates, we would. We just can't, folks. We all are all encompassing. Like, we got to talk some like real estate stuff, which is the boring stuff. You know, the mortgages is where it's at, right? So we're talking about why you should never let interest rates determine when you buy a house. Okay? That should never happen. And we have a couple reasons why here. We're going to talk about appreciation. We're going to talk about if just life, right? Timing of life and life events, and how they don't work around interest rates, right? They don't care about interest rates. You have certain life events that come up. They don't care about interest rates. It's like, but when you need to buy a house, you need to buy a house. So let's talk about that here. Now, you can join us, join our conversation here. You can visit us on Facebook, YouTube. You can go to our website, US Home Talk. You can listen to all of our previous shows. You can connect with us with questions. If you're watching on Facebook right now, thank you for tuning in. You can put comments and stuff like that in the chat box if you want to. So we also have a real estate hotline number. That number is 612-234-7585. You see it scrolling there on the bottom of the screen. So you can get a hold of us 24/7 at that number. Or again, you can go to ushometalk.com and you can reach us there 24/7 as well. Okay, so let's talk about kind of my point number one here, and I'll have you fellas expand on this a little bit. But why you should never have mortgage rates determine when you buy a house. So the nice thing about a mortgage rate is that you can reset your mortgage rate through a refinance, right? So if you're buying at X today, the interest rate is X today, and rates go down, guess what? You can grab that lower rate, and you just reset your interest rate, right? Now you're at a lower rate. But can you reset your purchase price in the house?
Nope.
You can't go back and change the price. Say, hey, prices in the neighborhood went down. I want you, seller, to rebate me some money.
No, you can't do that. Just like you can't go into a house today and say, I'd like to buy this house at 5-year-ago price, please.
Right? And so that's why, I mean, go ahead, Marcus.
The seller can't either come back to you 5 years down the road and say I sold you that house for $300, but I see it's worth $500 today.
Yep.
So I would like, a little something for the effort.
A little something for the effort.
Giving you such a good deal.
So that's the thing. That's the number one reason. You can always reset your interest rates. If rates go down, you can always reset it. You can refinance, reset that rate, boom, right? You're off and running. But if you're waiting, if you're one of those people that are waiting, I literally had this conversation yesterday with a client saying that, hey, rates are here. Well, what would the numbers look like if rates were here? And it was only 3/8 lower, right? It was a 3/8 lower of a rate conversation. It was going to swing his payment by $99 a month. That's it.
Wow.
And I was like we shouldn't, this is a conversation we shouldn't even be having.
What was the home price?
It was a $425 home price. Okay. $425 home price. 3/8 different because he was talking about rates 10 days ago. Because we had rates that went up, over the last 10 to 12 days, they went up 3/8%. And he's like, well, what if we could get the rate that we could have got, 10 or 12 days ago at 6.25? What does that look like? And I was like, well, that only changes your payment by $99. Yeah. And meanwhile, this guy is moving for a job. He got a new job. He has to move towns. He's got the need, right? He's got the need to move. And so it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I mean, you're moving regardless, whether a rate's here or there or whatever. It's like you are selling and you're moving. Like, I can't determine and control rates. It's just, it is what it is. Yep. It's one of those things. And so it just got me thinking of like, when we've had this conversation before, it's like, how about for those people that said, you know what, I can buy a house today. So let's rewind and go back. Let's just say even let's go back to 2022. Let's go back to fall of 2022, okay, when mortgage rates hit 7%. That was when they first hit 7%, right? We came out of COVID, ultra low rates. Early 2022, we're still sitting at 2.875 coming in January 1st of 2022. By October, we're at 7%. Okay. So if we rewind and go back to there, the average cost in Lakeville, Minnesota, the median sale price of a home in Lakeville, Minnesota was $495 back then. Okay. Lakeville, Minnesota, the suburb, 25 minutes straight south in 22.
Okay.
So November of 2022, the median sale price for a home in Lakeville, which is just 25 minutes south of Minneapolis, so it's a nicer suburb there. The average or the median sale price of a home with rates at 7% was at $495. Okay. For those people that said, you know what, I don't like that 7% rate. I can afford a house. I can buy a house. I qualify, all that stuff, but I don't like that rate. I'm going to wait, right? I'm going to wait until rates get back to 5.5. Okay. Well, you'd still be waiting because they haven't hit 5.5 yet. Okay. But now if I look at June of 2026, the median sale price of that same home in Lakeville now is $545. Wow. $50,000 difference.
Yeah.
So you're waiting to save some money on that interest rate, but are you really saving?
Yeah. You're not saving. And your original, the beginning of this conversation is, so that's $99 a month, so $1,200 a year. And on that house is going to, historically, is going to appreciate, call it conservative 4%. What's that, $13,000 or something, or $13,500? So it's going to cost you an extra $13,000 to $14,000, where you're only paying an extra $99 a month anyway. But like you said, also you can also refinance. So worst case, you keep the rate, and it costs you an extra $100 a month over the next year, or you wait for a lower rate, but you're going to spend an extra $13,000-$14,000 on the house. It's going to cost you a lot more if you wait.
Or you fast forward, like in this particular case here, let's say back in the fall of 2022, right? You're like, hey, I'm going to wait. Well, maybe now you're realizing that, hey, I might be waiting for nothing. I might be waiting for something that's not going to come. This 5.5% interest rate, or 5.25%, or 5, whatever that number is for you. You might be waiting. Maybe it's not going to happen for a while.
Yep.
So now you're going to get off the fence and you're actually going to buy. Well, it's costing you $50,000 for the same house today.
Yep. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. Now, is real estate worth it? Appreciation wise, I mean, I would say it's definitely worth it. We've all seen that chart before, where we looked at the appreciation since 1942. And I was actually going to see if I can share my screen here.
Ooh, you know how to do that?
Entire screen. Here we go. Can you guys see it?
Nope. Oh, yep, there it is.
There we go. All right. I'll
This
zoom
is
in a little bit more.
interesting. I think this is an incredible.
Yeah, I really like this.
So here's the chart, right? Here's the appreciation of real estate in the U.S. since 1942, right? Year by year. Not too much red on there. Real estate does not really typically go down in the U.S., right? As far as values go. Yes, we hit the crash 07 to 11, okay? But coming out of that, I mean, look how much appreciation coming out of that. And even going before. I mean, this is all green down here.
So what happened in 1990? Because that's, with the exception of the crash, that's the only other time it went down. I wonder. Evan probably knows. He knows what happened in 1990.
Yeah, 91 was 0, 92 was 1. So those are some lower percentage.
Yeah. So what would happen
years.
in the early 90s? I graduated high school in 96.
War in Iraq.
Maybe.
During Bush
That could be.
Senior.
Huh.
I broke up with my middle school girlfriend in 91.
That's
it.
That's probably what it was.
That's why.
Yep.
Appreciation stopped throughout the country.
Little did I know that one event just took the whole U.S. real estate market and just put it into a spell all the way till 96. It really just kind of depressed the market till 96. Then I got back on my feet. Now I'm with my high school girlfriend, and now things took off again. Yep. I think that's what happened. So, but anywho, you can see real estate's a safe play. All right, we're going to appreciate. If you wait, you're going to pay more. It's just, I mean, that's just the name of the game. Anyone who's ever tried to time out the market as far as, hey, the low interest rates are low, I'm going to get in at this point. Well, guess what? As a buyer, you have more competition when rates are lower.
Yep.
So now you have that house that you had your eye on. Rates hit. It's like great. Like boom, there's a house that's still available. Rates are here. I'm going to jump in the pool and make an offer. Well, how many other people are making an offer? And now you're going to compete against other people. And now you're going to have to increase your offer price to that seller to get your offer picked. So now are you really saving any money from waiting? Again, no, you're not saving any money.
No, historical numbers show that.
So, so that was the, I mean, it's going to be a short show today, but that's kind of just what I wanted to point out is that waiting or trying to buy real estate based on an interest rate has never worked. Never worked before. Even investors, if you look at investors looking to buy investment properties, right? Do they even care what the interest rate is?
No, it's all about income and what's it cost and what am I going to make on it?
Right. Yeah. Interest rate means nothing. You know, if the numbers work, if I got this much rental income coming in and my expenses going out is this, and the numbers work, it's a good play. Doesn't regardless what the interest rate is.
I think the biggest point to get across again is you can refinance into a lower rate. And so this idea of I remember back in 2020, 21, and we had buyers that are like, I'm waiting until rates get to 2.9. We're at 3.5 right now on a 30-year fix. I'm waiting until it gets to 2.9. And it did for, 3 weeks. It was 2.875, I think. But so there's always folks that just like, it's not quite good enough. I need it to be lower, And so historical data shows you've got over an average of 4% annual appreciation on real estate. It's a good investment.
Over decades, and not like
Correct.
pulling out like a
great point.
5-year window that looks attractive. It's like over a decade, and that kind of goes in. I came across a great article on Fortune.com, and it was talking about that, where you look at millennials' total net worth, nearly quadrupled from 2019 to 2024. It went from just under $4 trillion to just under $16 trillion, and roughly $2.5 trillion, which would be about 21% of that increase, came from home price appreciation. So one generation, 20% of their increased net worth came from home price appreciation. So again, if you're like, I'm going to hold off on this unicorn rate and not going to buy, well, you might miss out on an incredible opportunity for home price appreciation.
Yep, agree.
We're going to pause for a legal minute here. We're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about why rates should not stop you from buying a home.
This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell, with the U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute. A tricky question in regards to any property that abuts a shoreline lies in determining the boundaries of the property. This is because the shoreline changes over time. The three theories that apply to the changes of the share of the shoreline are accretion, reliction, and avulsion. Accretion is the gradual addition to shoreline caused by the washing of sand, dirt, and gravel ashore. Reliction is the gradual recession of the water as it recedes, and avulsion is rapid change in a water course. The Minnesota Supreme Court has held that the landowner abutting the water course has the right to accretions and reliction. In the case of avulsion, land boundaries remain static without regard to a riparian owner being cut off from navigation. This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell, with the U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute.
Jeff, you're too smart for us.
Jeff, we appreciate your knowledge.
So my whole point here, and I'm just going to end with some notes here. My whole point is when life happens, right? Life happens, right? You got a growing family, you need a new home. Don't let rates determine when you're going to buy that new home. If your dream home comes up, you're a move-up buyer, it's like, hey, we have the ability, our dream home comes up, and it's available, you got to do it. You can't let interest rate hold you back from making that purchase, right? Because that house may never come on the market again. That owner might keep it then pass it down their family for 100 years. It might never come up. So when the time is right, when life happens, do not base your decision on interest rates. Base your decision on making dreams happen and making possibilities true.
Yep, love it.
Any feedback, Marcus?
No, I think that's reach out to your professionals, whether it's your real estate professional or your mortgage professional. Sit down and have that conversation. What does this look like? Come up with a plan. Look at the numbers. If you're in a position with your employment financially to make a move on it, buying a home is a very smart decision.
Yep.
Beautiful. I love it, fellas. Thanks for joining today. All right, everyone. We'll be back next week for another show of U.S. Home Talk. Find us 24/7, 365 at ushometalk.com. You can connect with us there. You can watch previous shows. and then you can find reports and selling, buying, and all fun stuff in real estate. So on behalf of Marcus Walgrave and Jason Walgrave, I'm Mike Overson. We'll see you next week.